You know, when you think about how AI is actually built, you probably picture lines and lines of super complex code, right? Well, for years, that's exactly how it was done. But what if I told you that you could build your own really sophisticated AI assistants using just your words? That's the game-changing idea we're digging into today. Okay, let's just start with one single number that says it all: 0.03%. Think about that for a second. That is the tiny, tiny fraction of everyone on Earth who has the programming skills to build and tweak the kind of advanced AI agents that are, well, they're changing everything.
So what you've got is this massive problem. On one side, there are these incredibly powerful tools and frameworks for building AI. But on the other side, well, for almost everyone else, it's like they're locked out. There's this giant wall of code in the way. It creates this huge accessibility gap, right? It separates the raw potential of AI from the millions of people who have amazing ideas but just can't write the code.
And this is exactly the question at the heart of the research paper we're looking at today. They basically asked, is it even possible to tear down that wall? Can we actually democratize this whole thing and let anyone, anyone, no matter their technical skill, build their own AI agents with nothing more than just plain English?
So this is what the paper calls the 0.03% problem. It's this idea that creating with AI is stuck as this super niche skill for a tiny group of experts, instead of being a creative tool for all of us. The big question is, how do you even begin to fix that?
Well, the answer they came up with is a new framework called AutoAgent. And I love how they think about it. It's not just another tool. They describe it as a full-blown operating system, but for AI agents.
And the promise here? The core idea is right there in the description: natural language alone. And maybe even more importantly, zero coding required. That's the whole breakthrough, right? It means you can just describe the AI assistant you want in your own words, and AutoAgent goes and builds it for you. The paper has this perfect analogy for it. Think about your computer's OS, like Windows or Mac OS. You don't need to know anything about microchips or binary to use it, right? You just click, type, and talk to it. It handles all the crazy complex stuff in the background. That's exactly what AutoAgent is trying to be for building AI. It's that simple, intuitive layer on top that lets you focus on your idea, not the code.
Okay, so how in the world does it actually pull this off? Let's pop the hood and meet the team that makes it all happen. It's actually a team of specialized agents that turns your words into a working AI.
All right, from a high-level view, the system has four main parts that all work together. Don't worry, the names might sound a bit technical, but the concepts are actually pretty straightforward. You've got the team of specialist agents, a central brain or manager that tells them what to do, a file system so it can remember things, and a way for it to learn and get better on its own. And this is how that team works in practice. It's pretty cool. You give your big idea to the orchestrator agent. Think of it as the project manager. It figures out your goal and then starts delegating. If you need to find something online, boom, it calls in the web agent. If you need to crunch some numbers or automate a task, it pings the coding agent. And if you needed to look through your own local files, like PDFs or videos, the local file agent gets the job. It's like having a perfectly coordinated expert team ready to go. Okay, that all sounds amazing in theory. But the big question is, does it actually work? How does it stack up in the real world? Let's move from how it's built to what it can actually do, and check out some real performance numbers. So this is the Gaia benchmark. You can basically think of it as a really tough final exam for general AI assistants. And look at this, AutoAgent came in at number 2. It beat out a whole bunch of other big open source systems. That is seriously impressive for a system that, remember, you can build just by talking to it.
And this is where it gets even more interesting. When you look at the level 1 tasks, which are more like your common everyday requests, AutoAgent was the first system of its kind to break the 70% accuracy mark. It didn't just do well, it set a new standard. So it's not just a cool idea, it's actually really, really effective.
But look, benchmarks are one thing. The real magic, the part that's kind of mind-blowing, is seeing this system build something genuinely complex and useful from a single, simple sentence.
So let's walk through a real example. A user just gives it this prompt. Just read it. There's no code, no complicated commands. It's just a person describing an idea for a financial agent in normal, everyday language. And from just that one sentence, here's what AutoAgent did, all by itself. First, it created 2 new specialized agents, one for documents and one for market research. Then, it built 4 brand new tools from scratch, specifically for handling financial data. After that, it created another agent, an orchestrator, to manage the first 2.
It even caught and fixed its own coding mistake along the way. And then it delivered a complete financial report. It's just wild.
And it's not just for numbers and analysis. Another user asked it to create a Da Vinci agent to help generate images. So what did AutoAgent do? It went ahead and built a whole new agent that could tap into a Hugging Face model to generate, judge, and then improve images over and over. This shows it can handle creative work just as well as analytical stuff. Okay, so let's zoom out. What does all of this actually mean? What are the huge real-world implications when anyone can build AI with just their words? Let's wrap this up.
Really, what this boils down to is a massive fundamental shift. For the first time, the biggest thing stopping someone from creating a powerful AI tool isn't knowing how to code. The new barrier is just having a good idea and being able to explain it. So let's just run through the key takeaways here. 1. You can now create a custom AI assistant with zero code. 2. You can build complex systems with multiple agents just by describing what you want. 3. These agents can literally invent their own tools on the fly to solve problems they've never seen before. All of this, it's not just an upgrade, it's a total shift in who gets to build the future with AI.
Look, a technology like this genuinely puts the power to innovate into pretty much anyone's hands. That wall of code we talked about, it's starting to crumble. It really opens up a whole new world of creation. So the final question really isn't about what the tech can do anymore. It's about what we are going to do with it. Now that anyone can be a builder, what are you going to create?